This is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Friday. This is the Woo Report, episode 135, titled More Practice. Come on, Coach. We need a win. I'm your host, Sam Woo, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. We are the premier destination for all things Devils, because why? We just happen to be New Jersey Devils fans, and the New Jersey Devils are on the road right now after losing to the Minnesota Wild 5-2 last night. It's starting to become a recurring theme with the New Jersey Devils. It's starting to become the same old Devils. More practice, more practice, more practice, says Lindy Ruff. We did not practice of all last season. Driving the guys to the ground, teaching them how the game is played. But same old results. They're not competitive, especially in the first two periods. They need to compete 60 minutes at a clip, at a time. Andrew Gilbert writes in the Facebook Live, another season over before Christmas. I wouldn't go that far, but it can happen. It can happen. Because right now the Devils are in a slump. A little slump. We were on such a big high after they came back and beat the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, three-time Stanley Cup champions, Tampa Bay Lightning. We were on a high. And since then, there hasn't been much to talk about other than one victory over the slumping, more than the Devils, Philadelphia Flyers. Yesterday was another pathetic performance. Getting beat early. The game being controlled by the Minnesota Wild. In the Devils' defense, they are one of the best teams in the NHL. But still, the losing is starting to pile up for the New Jersey Devils. And they go into Winnipeg tonight, second half of a back-to-back games. I would assure you, I would assume that Jonathan Bernier will be in net for the New Jersey Devils. Mackenzie Blackwood had a tough time yesterday. I mean, the Devils could have lost 9-2 yesterday. Just still lazy, sloppy passes. Forwards, the opposing forwards going uncontested in front of the goaltender. You can't have that happen. And all these practices and, grinding on your players. Look, I'm all about practices, but so far we're not seeing results. Maybe the message is starting to get old. I don't know. Is it on the players or the coaches? Right now, the Utica Comets are showing the organization how to win. The blueprint for the young players, going through the ranks, going through the system, going through the AHL. But is it going to translate into wins? Because after all, that's why we're all here. Mike Ruff says the Jets are very, very bad right now. I would say that they are two evenly matched teams at this point because the Devils are playing like a bad team. Joey Giardina, as is Bernie getting the start? I would assume so. Why wouldn't he start? He's got the fresh legs. Corbin writes, I hate to say it, but do you think Nico got the C a bit young? Too much pressure. Maybe a big trade and a new start for Nico. Seeing our depth at center is good. I love Nico. But might be the best for both sides. That's way too premature to be trading Nico Hischier. Unless, of course, Quinn Hughes is coming back to the New Jersey Devils. That's something I would entertain. Because I love defense, but I also love Nico Hischier more. Because not everybody can be the captain. And right now, even captains go through growing pains. Since the C not very good, Corbin reiterates in the Facebook Live. But your idea may not be popular, Corbin, but you know what? Everything's on the table when your team is losing, and losing badly, I might add. However, let's look at some of the positives. The penalty killing has been better. Moving up the NHL ranks. That's what we want to see. We want to see good special teams. NY Davy writes, 2 observations. They never shoot quick enough when they receive a pass in scoring position. Always a delay. And Captain Obvious, the PK needs to be completely reorganized. NY Davy, yes, I completely agree. I wrote this on my blog on hockeybuzz.com that they're just waiting for the perfect moment for the perfect shot. How about you just put it on net? New Jersey Devils. I think Siegenthaler had the best shot of the game, actually. Come think of it. He just put it on net quickly. Wasn't worried about speed, the shot accuracy. He wasn't worried about anything. He just put it on net and chaos ensued. If you telegraph your shot in front of the goaltender and the goaltender can see the puck, guess what? 99.9% times they will make that save because goaltenders in the NHL are that good. It doesn't matter what team you have. It doesn't matter what defense you have. As long as the goaltender can see the puck on the blade of the stick of the opposing forward or defenseman, and in some rare cases, the goalie, they will make the save. Loki writes on the YouTube Live, can we play with the lead for once? Maybe start off the first period competently. And enough with the slap shots that get blocked all the time. Just need quick wristers from the point. I don't care what kind of shot it is. Get it on net and get it there quickly. And what I mean by that is not a big windup. What I mean is split-second decisions. Get it on net and get it through to the goaltender. Be there for the rebound. Rinse and repeat. And oftentimes, I think Jack Hughes, especially as skilled and gifted he is, I think the Devils need to play to their strengths, why they are the New Jersey Devils. Stop being so fancy with the puck. Stop being so fancy with your passing. Have a shoot-first mentality. Go for the jugular. And keep the pucks coming onto the net. Defensively, they got away from the no-fun zone defense that I was pointing out. A lot of the Minnesota Wild forwards, well, they were competing because they had a field day around Mackenzie Blackwood. They were left wide open. Ryan Graves, love the guy. I just love Ryan Graves, but he got beaten a couple times. Same with Dougie Hamilton. And you can't have that happen. The legs feeds the wolves, as what Herb Brooks said in that movie called Miracle. They need to start using their legs. They need to start focusing on the puck and blocking the puck, being disruptive in their defensive zone. Giving up 5 goals back to back is inexcusable for these New Jersey Devils. They have all the talent right now to overcome a lot of these challenges. But more practice? Well, I don't mind more practice if you get results, but it's not working. And tonight is another test to see if they can turn it around. If not, they come back to a 3-game homestand that's probably the most important homestand thus far this season. Can they stop the bleeding? And we talked about making the playoffs with this team. Can you mitigate and minimize the collateral damage of these losing streaks? You got to start winning, and you need to start winning now, because right now, last 5 games, the Devils haven't done very well. I think they only have a total whopping 3 points and a couple duds along the way, like against the Nashville Predators, like against last night, the Minnesota Wild, like against the San Jose Shark at home. That's not good. That's not good. I see a lot of comments coming out. Whistler, the breakout passing is particularly bad. With this in mind, opposing teams just clog up the neutral zone, force the Devils to jump, and then change the lines. Or dump and change the lines. I agree with you, Whistler. I agree with you. But their breakout passing was much more crisper in the beginning of the season. We talked about this on the Let's Go Devils podcast. We talked about how important having Dougie Hamilton, Ryan Graves, the outlet passes, because that usually starts on defense to quarterback what happens down the ice. Damon Severson, butt puck, puckhead, seems to always have the worst luck. I think he's a good player, great player, but my goodness, how many times do we have to see another incident of unusual plays that Damon Severson has scored on his own net? He's almost like Mario Lemieux. Remember Mario Lemieux against the Devils? They always talk about it. The NHL loves to talk about it. How he scored 5 different ways against the New Jersey Devils. Shorthanded, even strength, on the power play, empty net, and a penalty shot. Remember that? Remember that? Well, Damon Severson has perfected the most odd ways of scoring on his own team as a defenseman of the New Jersey Devils. But I don't want to knock on Severson because he is a very good player and he's trying. And when it rains, it pours. But right now, the Devils cannot have too much time to sulk in their misery. They need a win. They need a win badly against the Winnipeg Jets tonight in Manitoba, up north. 8 p.m. Eastern start. Tonight, Vinny Parisi and I will go at 7 p.m. Eastern for Game Day Live. And Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal and I will be doing Devils After Dark to recap the game that was tonight after the game. You're probably in the car right now listening to this podcast on your Friday night commute. I want to thank you for making us a part of your day. Loki writes, Sam, when was our last 5+ winning streak to be a playoff team? You need some of those. Yes. Winning solves everything. Even the bogus BS report that the Prudential Center is the worst fan experience in the NHL, which was based on what? Analytics. It wasn't even based on a survey or interviews with fans. And I will say this, though. Winning solves everything, even bad fan experiences and paying a boatload of money on beer and alcohol and snacks at the Prudential Center. Suddenly that fan experience becomes much better when you even still pay those high rates if the Devils are winning. Winning solves everything. It really does. It really does. And the Devils need to develop that mentality, that closer mentality, even when they have the lead. Like the Utica Comets, Schmid and Dawes are lights out at the goaltender position. On fire, gives us hope. We love the Utica Comets. We love Kevin Dineen. But we will also love the New Jersey Devils to follow in their footsteps, meow, meow, and try to get that winning mindset and that mojo going again. But more practice? Let's see if this pays off. Because I'm not too keen on putting a big practice together before a 2-game back-to-back road trip. I'm not questioning Lindy Ruff's reasons because, honestly, there was a lot to work on. There was a lot to work on of these New Jersey Devils. But I think it's going to take more than practice. I think it's going to take more than coaching. It's going to take a whole commitment from the 20 players that are on the ice to start playing a full 60-minute game. And let's simplify the process. NFZ, the area, also known as the high danger area in the analytics world, also known as the slot in the old school hockey world, that needs to be your area defensively. Nobody gets through there unscathed. Step number one. Defensively, they're starting to get out of position at times, but the penalty kill has been decent. But I forewarn you, keep your game simple, I asked the New Jersey Devils players. Do one thing and execute it. Try not to do too many things. Try not to be like Jack Hughes and be that skillful and waiting for the perfect highlight reel pass and shot. How about you start peppering the goaltender? What's exciting to me is getting those quick shots on goal and buzzing around the net for the rebound. To me, that's exciting. But playing this perimeter game around the net, the opposing team thanks you for it because they don't have to work as hard to be disruptive because you're doing their job. You got to go for the jugular. You've got to go straight hard to the net. Pay the price. But eventually you'll come out on top. But let's see. Let's see. All right, well, that's almost the conclusion of the Will Report. I'll be back for Game Day Live at 7 p.m. Eastern. Vinny Parisi is going to be at the University of Michigan game. He's on the road, and he'll be calling in for Game Day Live. Luke Hughes. Oh, that name, Luke Hughes, huh? Remember that name that we talked about? That he may be coming very soon. Hopefully soon to the New Jersey Devils. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? And taking a soundbite out of Tommy Boy, this is what we hear Devils fans say.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah. Want to thank all those that are watching right now. Tony P, worst fan experience. I won't go that far. I mean, it is fun at the Devils game. Maybe the Devils don't themselves, you can make an argument that they're not fun, but hey, we all know how to self-entertain ourselves at the Devils game, don't we? Such as Game Day Live at Taj Lounge 973 before the Devils take on any team at the Prudential Center. You can always visit me there. There are some shenanigans going on there. We'll be back next week. But we'll be back tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern for Game Day Live. Keep it here. Keep it real. And if I don't see you till Monday, have a good weekend. Big game tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. Game Day Live, Devils After Dark, later tonight. Keep it here. Keep it real. Uh-oh, the music stopped. That's not good. I always time these things wrong. But that's what happens when you do things live. That's enough for me for now. Dropping the podcast in about 15 minutes. Wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart app, Audible, Amazon Music Prime, Spotify, you know it. Updating now. No longer weekly, no longer daily, almost 3 times a day. How did we get this far? I don't know. Till next time, this is the Woo Report. Let's go Devils.